I'm really thankful to Jadhavar Group of institutions for taking a good initiative, particularly for career in law and more specific on intellectual property right. So thank you to Dr. Sudhakar Rao Jadhavar and Shardul Rao Jadhavar. I would like to divide the entire today's talk into three parts about us, who am I and what we are doing, and number two, the subject on which we are working since last 25 years, and number three, what are the opportunities available in specialized area of law. So let us talk part one about us. We called ourselves Great Mission Group Consultancy. We are a law firm. Basically, we are into intellectual property right. My name is Professor Advocate Ganesh Hingmire. I am into intellectual property right for last say 25 years. We have worked intensively on various patents, trademark, copyright, and most importantly, a community's intellectual property right called geographical indication. We have registered many patents for IIT. We have registered well-known trademark in Maharashtra like Lal Bagh Raja, Daudshir Ganpati, Samskruti School, and many more. We have also registered copyright for say Karandak, particularly Firodia Karandak and all. And apart from that, the highest number of geographical indication we have registered in India, mainly Puneri Pagdi, Paithani Sadi, Mahabaleshwar Strawberry, Nashik Grapes. We have in short worked almost all districts of Maharashtra. Then we also work in Assam, Gujarat, Jammu Kashmir, Jharkhand. So almost 9 states we have covered in India for geographical indication registration. So these all are basically intellectual property right. This is a specialized branch of law, you can say, super specialized area in terms of legal education, in terms of legal practices. So what is intellectual property right? The property which is created in say by intellect is an intellectual property, and the rights which are granted by the particular act or law is intellectual property rights. Say, take an example, if you invented something new, then your invention is entitled to get the patent, and there is a law pertaining to the patent which gives protection to your creation, and you can enjoy the monopoly right, you can enjoy the exclusive right. Likewise, if you have created certain painting or written a book, then you can get it protected as a copyright, and you also enjoy the exclusive right, like what J.K. Rowling is enjoying for her a book called Harry Potter. So likewise, there is a community's intellectual property right called geographical indication. So take an example, Mahabaleshwar Strawberry, which I have registered in 2009. So the strawberry is unique in all sense. This is an agriculture product. So why this strawberry is unique? Because of the red laterite soil which is there in the Mahabaleshwar, because of the heavy rainfall there in Mahabaleshwar, and because Mahabaleshwar is a hill station and there are certain community, farming community made it possible as a unique product, and because of that you will find the uniqueness of the strawberries, 200 seeds outside the fruits, while in other strawberry you will find 160 seeds outside the strawberry. So this is a special characteristics you will find in particular product in defined zone. There in such area or in particularly such product can enjoy the monopoly right called as a geographical indication. Geographical indication is community's intellectual property right, and I am working as I mentioned in all different states in India for protecting the geographical indication, and because of that Government of India honored me with 2 national awards in 2015 and 2016 for the contribution in geographical indication. So about us, now about intellectual property right, as I mentioned, these are the specialized branch of the law. You have to get the protection for your creation which comes through the human mind, and that are in a different forms where I mentioned about the patent, trademark, copyright, and GI, and also design. So design is where you will find the bottle design, the chair design, or the car design. That is again entitled to get the protection in the intellectual property right. by way of registering as a industrial design. So these are the different forms of intellectual property commonly called as an intellectual property right. Unfortunately, the total number of registration, intellectual property right registration is less in India as compared to the China and USA and other developed countries, and because of that there are an opportunity for lawyers to be into the intellectual property right and contribute to get the more and more registration and help the nation building and help the strengthening the particularly country's economic power. So here, how it helps the individual, how it helps the industry, and how it helps the particularly nation at large. So if I invented something new, say take an example of dust-free chalk. I invented dust-free chalk. Dust was creating a problem, then I applied my mind, I have invented a dust-free chalk. I applied for a patent because this is a new product and I got the patent. It means I'll get a legal right, exclusive right, what we can call it as a monopoly right. No one will manufacture that dust-free chalk. So here I got a legal protection. So here it's like a indirectly creating an industry. So I got a power, I got particularly right to create a separate industry. It's in another sense what we can say, one invention is equal to one patent and one patent is equal to one industry. So I got patent, so I can create a model for revenue to the government, I can generate the employment. So in other sense I am helping the nation building. And here is that a best example what we can say, intellectual property right is not only helping the individual like me, but also creating an industry and also creating a revenue to the government. So this is a different law where specialized area and you can contribute to the nation building, what I said before. So intellectual property right, but where we are, I said we are having a less number of intellectual property right. Let's talk about the China. They have registered 20 lakhs patent last year. However, we have reached at 1 lakh. So where we are, matlab, if you see that calculation per month, China is on an average filing 1,50,000 plus patent per day. They have 5,000, and however India we have 1 lakh. So that means 9,000 per month. So here for them it's a one-day job, and for us it's a 1 month job. So that need to be changed, and hence we need more and more professionals in intellectual property right to serve the nation, to register the patent, to register the GI. So patent is one thing. In trademark also, China is almost registering 78 lakhs per trademark per year. So on an average 12 lakh to 15 lakhs per month, and then that's per day. You can see that 24,000. However, we have 1,000 per day. So that way, how China is taking initiative, or how China took rather initiative and strengthened their economy with the help of intellectual property rights. A similar model is now government also adopted, and government started helping the industry, helping the individual to protect their intellectual property right, and hence government also started giving a sort of support for person, particularly the law person, to become a professional in intellectual property right. Government began various opportunities like to appoint the trademark examiner. So any law graduate can be a trademark examiner and can get a salary up to a judge, or rather more than judge after some time. So if you have a law degree, this is an opportunity number one. If you have a law degree and if you work for some year, maybe 2 to 3 years in intellectual property right, and if you appear for an exam which conducts by the government of India, it's like UPSC kind of exam, and then you crack this exam and become a class 1 officer there in patent office or trademark registry. So this is opportunity number one. Number two, if you become a lawyer, then you can also practice as a trademark agent. Number three, opportunities as a patent examiner. So here again government of India conduct the exam for the patent examiner. You will get a salary of equivalent to the scientist A, and that's the another opportunity. The third, If you are from the law background, if you have a taxation background, then you can be a IPR valuation, IP valuer, you can say, where, like, if I say this office belongs to me and the value of this office is 1 crore, and then if I have invented something new, I got a patent from this office, then that value of the patent may be 10 crore. So likewise, there is a valuation opportunity for the law and taxes background person. About communities intellectual property right, this is a platform for cultural entrepreneurships. I have registered the Puneri Pagdi in 2007, and thereafter I requested the University of Pune to replace the convocation hood with the Puneri Pagdi. In 2020, they replaced the convocation hood with the Puneri Pagdi. So this GI helped to create a cultural entrepreneurships. Now there are many people who are started manufacturing, making the Puneri Pagdi. Likewise, I have registered the Paitani Sari. Likewise, we have registered the Ambe Mor rice. We have registered also Ajra Ghansa rice. We have registered almost 40 GIs from Maharashtra, and 19 are still in the pipeline of the registration. Likewise, we have registered GIs from the Bodo land. So you may not heard about the Erie silk. Erie silk, which we have registered as a geographical indication. It's fetching great price. Not only price, but the demand from the abroad, because this Erie silk is made with the particularly silkworm which never died. So it is a, what you can say, Ahimsa silk. So that Ahimsa silk is now a GI from India, and we have registered it from Assam, Bodo land. Likewise, there are n number of GIs now creating a cultural entrepreneurships. We came with the thought, AI will take you the job and GI will give you the job. So here it's a perfectly applicable opportunity to lawyers, those who wanted to practice, those who wanted to contribute in the intellectual property right, or those who wanted to start a separate business. Also an opportunity is available to one and all. So one can imagine lakhs of patents are need to be registered. Who are going to register that? Then once it is filed, then who are going to examine that? Those who have knowledge about the intellectual property right only can contribute to this sector. Further, there are demand in the industry itself. If you have a particular knowledge, sufficient knowledge from the IPR sector, then big industries like maybe Tata and all big industries are now started separate IP department like HR, finance. Now they have intellectual property management department, which is already there in the Japan. So the Japan model is replicated in India with separate intellectual property management department. So this is all about opportunities. So, and further, the last, if you start your own practice like what we are doing, what we have contributed. So we are supporting the industry, we are supporting the individual and protecting their intellectual property. Not only individual or industry, but NGOs or temples like Davrset Ganpati, Lal Bagh Raja and all. Now no one will replicate their name, no one will replicate their trademarks, their visual symbols. So there you can contribute to the society. Since law is a very noble profession and intellectual property right is, I further say, very noble profession where you will get more satisfaction for the contribution to the society, to the nation at large. Lastly, I would like to narrate, you all can opt intellectual property right, which is specialized area in many countries, and now India begin with lots of initiative. Rather, India recently mentioned, the authorities from the government of India mentioned that if we wanted to achieve the target of Vikasit Bharat by 2047, then we should have to have special IP policy, protection and promotion in place, and they begin with that various schemes like SIPP and all, where startup gets the support for the intellectual property rights protection. So these are the good initiative at government area, government side. There are opportunities. Considering the time constraint, I can conclude, if you want to know more about individual intellectual property right, then you may please click on Google my name Ganesh Hingmire, Ganesh, Ganesh Hingmire, Hingmire, you will find many articles. I have written 5 books, I have written more than 300 articles. There are hundreds of YouTube videos are there on individual. What is trademark, how to protect the trademark, what is the benefit of the GI, what are the GI registered in India. Like I said, this is a map, which GI map is available on my YouTube channel. If you click Ganesh Hingmire, and then specifically you will find the article series are there. GI Manankar book is there. So this is a map from the Maharashtra for which I have worked for the GI. Then this is a map from the Bodoland, Assam, where you will find 21 product from the tribal area registered as a geographical indication. So tribal communities, as I said, communities intellectual property right is a GI. So tribal communities are getting more and more benefit for the GI. Now they have started exporting their product to the many countries. Again, same tagline, AI may take your job, GI will give you the job. We began our journey with the inspiration from the Abdul Kalam sir. I studied this subject there in UK in 2001 and then came back to India because of his inspiration, and now working exclusively, enjoying my profession in intellectual property right, protecting various intellectual property right and contributing to the best of my level in nation building as well as communities upliftment. Thank you very much Jadhav Group of Institute for an opportunity to share our journey, our work on intellectual property right. Thank you very much.